Hey guys, welcome back to Comic-Con. Justin Tyler from Newsarama.com talking to Eric Powell. Hello, sir.
Hi, how's it going?
So the Goon, you had a pretty big announcement here over the weekend that you're making a feature.
Well, we announced it a few years ago that we're doing the animated film with David Fincher and Blur and Dark Horse Entertainment, but unfortunately the studios haven't been very committal about it, and we feel they're not giving it the look it maybe should. So we had a lot of people, Facebook, Twitter, email, everything, telling me, why don't you do a Kickstarter? Why don't you do a Kickstarter? Every day I was getting that, emails from people. And I'm not going to write all these people back and say, you know, it's not really realistic to fund a $35 million movie with Kickstarter, you know?
Trust in the studio system. It's never screwed anybody else over.
Exactly. But I was talking to Blur about it, and I was like, maybe we should just do it, just for the hell of it, and maybe it'll show a studio that, you know, there is fan interest. And Blur came back to me and said, well, why don't we fund part of the film that would actually be realistic to fund? So we decided to do an animatic. The whole film to be able to show the studios, help them get off the fence, maybe give us the rest of the funding. So pretty soon we're going to be putting up the Kickstarter, and anyone who wants information on it now can email goon@blur.com, and they will be given information whenever the Kickstarter goes up. Right now we're still working on incentives and stuff and getting some of the legalities straightened out, but yeah, we're going to have some cool incentives to go out, not just your typical stuff, so it should be fun.
So describe for people that don't know what the difference between an animatic and like full animation.
Well, I think most people are familiar with storyboards. You know, you basically draw and map out the film, and animatic is like a moving storyboard. We do the storyboards, we, you know, digitally, you know, add a little motion movement to it. It's kind of like the old Marvel cartoons where Hulk was stagnant and kind of leaping across the screen. That's kind of what an animatic.
Like a motion comic.
Exactly, a little bit like a motion comic. Not as fleshed out, very, you know, raw, but it does give you. It has all the voice acting and gives you, you know, a feel of what the movie will be like when finished.
And will fans get to see a piece of that, or that will be maybe one of the incentives you're using for the Kickstarter? How's that going to work?
That's up to Blur and David Fincher. I'm sure, you know, that will probably be something that's kind of teased out there as an incentive or something, but yeah.
How's it feel? I mean, this is your comic. It's been an independent success, and now you're doing that for the movie version of that as well. Is that sort of like right in line?
You know, I was thinking about this the other day. This is exactly how the comic started.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, I went around to every single publisher and tried to get them to do it. They didn't understand it. I don't know what to compare this to. I'm not going to, you know, sorry, we got to pass.
Right.
And then I went out, took it alone, self-published it, put out an issue, and Dark Horse called me up, you know, shortly after that and said, we changed our minds. So this, oddly enough, is feeling, to me, exactly the way the comic felt in the beginning. So maybe that's a good sign. I don't know. Yeah,
it feels right, sort of on the sneak tip. And tell us about the comic. What's going on with that?
It's going back on a monthly schedule indefinitely. I'm starting up. The last big story I had was the last time I was monthly, the Return of Labrazio, and that kind of like wrapped up the first big segment of the overall story of the Goon. And right now I'm just starting on the second part. This is the next big thing. Yeah, I'm taking it monthly indefinitely this time, so it may last a few years, may last 10 years, I don't know. We're just going to see what happens. But I don't want to give too much away about the upcoming story, but I've been describing it as take every Johnny Cash song about heartache and revenge and add more murder. And that's pretty much what you're going to get.
So many people complain about Johnny Cash, not enough murder, my man.
Murder. There's going to be plenty of murder and violence, and it's going to be a little darker than the average Goon comic has been.
That's awesome. Well, that's great stuff to look forward to, and real entrepreneurial spirit going on here. So thanks a lot, and you guys stay tuned for plenty more from Comic-Con.